Executive Council is approved tomorrow, it will bring to an end 2 years of hard and often bitter constitutional negotiations. The path to the new South Africa calls for elections next April by proportional representation to a National Assembly of 400 members and a Senate elected to represent the regions. Parties with at least 5% of the votes will join a government of national unity, headed by a president, probably Nelson Mandela, and 2 deputy presidents from the largest parties. One of these could be the current president, F.W. de Klerk, if his national party does well. The National Assembly and the Senate together must draft a final constitution by 1999. Disagreements will be settled by a constitutional court, with added safeguards enshrined in a Bill of Rights. In the new South Africa, the homelands created by the apartheid system will disappear. There'll be 9 new provinces with regional governments holding limited powers over financial, security and social issues. The racial consensus represented by that constitution has not won over the opposition of key white or black opposition parties. Despite last-minute talks this morning, powerful forces such as the ANC's rivals, the mainly Zulu Inkatha Freedom Party, and whites in right-wing groups will not work with the constitution, will boycott the elections, and are planning a campaign of armed resistance instead.
This was once a battlefield where the Boers faced the British in a fight for survival. The Afrikaans for this place is Donkerhoek, which means dark corner. Camouflaged by trees, whites, including women and children, are resorting to the gun in yet another battle for survival. They're preparing to defend themselves against those who they feel are threatening their culture. But beneath it all is a contempt for the enemy, ungodly communists, the ANC, who reject the very idea of white superiority and a separate Afrikaner homeland.
We'll try and meet other people halfway and so on, but there are certain fundamentals that we will not discuss. Our ground that we fought for, and especially like this Donkerhoek that we stand on, that is not negotiable.
With the help of army commandos, these people are learning to kill in the belief, as one put it, that you're either on the side of God or you're dead. From its well-protected hilltop position not far away, Radio Pretoria provides a voice for dissident Afrikaners. They call it the People's Radio.
In our anthem, one of the lines says, "We will live for you, South Africa, we will die for you," and we will.
Campaigning in Natal, the ANC leader, Nelson Mandela, says the right present the greatest threat to South Africa's transition to democracy. But there's another powerful force, Inkatha. This Zulu-based party is also resisting constitutional reforms. At this Inkatha hostel in the troubled township of Dokoza, we were treated to this display of smiling young Zulus armed only with spears and clubs. But only last week, a police raid on this section of the hostel yielded 18 assault rifles. The strategy is to prepare for all-out conflict.
I don't want war, but if there's a need, what I would like to see, I would like to see the underground water tanks, underground fuel tanks for generators, because when there's war, there's a possibility that there's not going to be any electricity available, and all the dehydrated foods which are going to stay for a long time, and weapons, if there are some.
There's an ongoing civil war. I say that if there are tensions, if tensions go higher, it's just inevitable that, that will escalate, because there is a civil war. But please don't, for God's sake, try to say that I'm saying that I'm going to take up arms. I don't even have any arms, in fact.
The overriding worry now is that if next April's elections have to be delayed because of resistance and threats, South Africa will suffer even greater violence. Sustaining democracy, then, could prove as painful as dismantling apartheid. John Harrison, BBC News, Johannesburg.
And John